What is up, you guys? Thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is ARCa coming at you with an AVCT, statistical and technical thread of analysis. Before we get started, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video with a friend so that you and them could join ARCab, the trading community in Discord. Okay, you guys, so let's go ahead and dive right in. We were looking at this descending, this falling wedge in the 2-hour time frame, in the 2-hour chart for AVCT, and we did notice that we caught a breakout and we started to test our newly converted resistance into support. We have since failed that and are now trying to reclaim it once again. Now, if you watch several of my videos, you'll know that I talk about the golden rule of three very often. So actually, we didn't catch this yesterday. My apologies for that. But if we can see right over here, we have a test 1 of the resistance. We have a test 2 of the resistance. This was test 3. Now, upon making test 3 a breakout, this actually is usually a fake out, you guys. So test 3 followed by a capitulation or an accumulation period, followed by an actual true attempt at breaking out or a true breakout on test number 4, followed by a test of the newly converted resistance into support before a continuation onto the upside, you guys. And as you can see with the inverse fib that we're currently using right over here, we're actually using this 3.618 golden ratio as a form of support, which is a very good thing for us, you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the next chart and see what we got. Okay, so this is going to be the statistical side of the analysis, you guys. So this is where things get really juicy for AVCT. New listeners, please gander at this. We're looking at volatility here. Volatility represented by this indicator BBWP. Volatility is direction neutral. In order for us to gain a bias and direction when volatility starts to contract from these extreme levels, which I consider to be, above the 90 percentile and below the 15 percentile for higher term time frame, like the 2-day, we can pair this with a stochastic momentum oscillator, like this indicator right over here. This will give us the bias and direction. Now, out of the iterations where we have expanded to above the 90 percentile and started to expand towards the downside, I have taken note of every single time where that has happened, and also taken note of the times to where the guess to the upside has been correct versus the incorrect iterations, you guys, based on volatility versus momentum profile. Okay, so the stats that came back are very interesting. So first of all, the stochastic momentum oscillator showed us that it has an averaged upside accuracy of 83.33% in guessing the move to the upside correctly. This is due to 12 total iterations, and 10 of them were correct to the upside. It's not perfect, but it is pretty good. Now, please remember that these are statistical metrics and they're not certainty. So whatever I do say here, you guys, please consider with a grain of salt. Okay, so yeah, we're looking at a total of 12 iterations. This doesn't happen often, but out of 12, we got 12 correct. And the averaged upside accuracy is 100% with an averaged upside thrust of 58.53% over the span of about just over 32 days. This is proof of work. Now, if we start adding the upside thrust metric of 58.53% from the current low, we can actually see us covering or passing the 0.236 area first before we can actually start using this as a form of support, you guys. So in order for us to meet that criteria to move on to the upside as such, we actually need both the volatility component, which is the spectrum line, and the moving average of the BBWP, both pivoted towards the downside past the 90 percentile, and the stochastics or the momentum oscillator pivoted towards the upside as well. Now, let's go ahead and touch on something very interesting here, you guys. This is something that I have to mention because not everyone is seeing this. This is a trend line that I have drawn, and you can see that we're moving in a downward slope. You can consider this a trend line regression rejection type of situation right here, you guys. But the particular thing that I'm looking at here is that this is very similar to an RSI. So anything above anything above the purple area here is overbought. Anything below this point here is oversold. So as you can see, we're sitting right at this low right over here, you guys. We are just okay. Wow, did we actually just make a lower low? Let's look at this. Let's put it at exact precision. Okay, yes, you guys. So now we have made a multi-year low with today's price action. The last iteration where we reversed was from this point right over here, you guys, and we are past that point. As you can see clearly here, there's a gap and there's no gap right here. So now we are at historical lows, you guys. They're in the entire trading history. We're talking about from 2017 to today. AVCT has never touched the low that we're in right now, you guys. So we're extremely oversold within this asset. Now, the curious thing is this. When we reversed from this lowest iteration here in May 2020, we actually moved to the upside right at this point right here. And as you can see, this point meets our trend line regression rejection right at this area right over here, you guys. So what's curious is the move that it made. So now, before I say this, you guys know that I'm not a financial advisor. I can't actually suggest for you to buy or sell any assets. Please take whatever I do show within these videos, whatever I do say is a form of entertainment. Please do your own DD and we'll be okay. Okay. So again, this is I like to just show the details of the trade that I'm looking at, you guys. The iteration that I'm about to present is a 1 out of 1 iteration, and now we're past that iteration. So I mean, the longer we stay up here, the more likely the move to the volatility is that it's just going to be massive, enormous. So let's look at that iteration, you guys. This is very, very cool to talk about. Okay, so within this iteration, the reversal that we got based on a fully expanded volatility component versus moving average starting to contract, that move led to a 265% move to the upside, you guys, a massive jump. Now, applying that 265 or 4 whatever percent that we got to the current price action puts us at a very interesting place. We clear the 1.618 golden ratio, and it takes us right up to $4.23, and now we can actually draw a resistance range from the 379 1.618 to the statistical metric. And as you can see, this range has been used very accurately. This candle touching right about there, this candle using it as resistance. Look at this range right over here, you guys. We're having touches of right in those areas, right? So this is it's a key resistance, and it is a point of inflection. So I don't see it likely for us to move above this area unless FOMO really kicks in and takes it to the moon. But yeah, guys, please consider that they are statistical metrics. Let's go ahead and move on to the RSI so we can get gain a bias and direction for the immediate short-term time frames. Okay, so new listeners, please listen at this. This is a regular RSI setup. Upper half is the bullish control zone, lower half bearish control zone. The inner workings are the weakness percentile of either, and the outer portions are strength percentile of either. So this is bull strength percentile. Okay, so we are pivoted towards the upside, guys, and we have now made a bullish cross above the moving average and approaching the shallow areas of the bear weakness percentile, which means that we're likely to be gravitated into the into the bull weakness percentile. Very good stuff right there, you guys. Okay, so now let's look at the 4-hour and bi-hourly. So the bi-hourly is very similar to the 4-hour. We are now in the shallow areas of bear strength percentile, primed to enter the bear weakness. We have made a support touch of the moving average in considering and suggesting a continuation to the upside. This is the 6-hour time frame. It has also used the moving average as support, and and suggesting an upside move. We are primed to enter the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile, which can lead for us to be gravitated into bear weakness. And now the daily is suggesting a downside, but it is within the shallow areas of the bear strength percentile. The moving average is also almost unbiased or neutral in direction, you guys. So this is going to have to be solidified with one more session. The buy daily is also doing this nonsense. It's just like straight across, you guys. The moves that we're going to see are likely made in the shorter term time frame. We could potentially see a slightly red at the end of the day on Monday, but that's only because of that suggestion of the RSI. Okay, you guys. So these are indicators that are in partnership with me, you guys. Crypstex Trading has pretty much endorsed me and have created customized indicators for short-term style, momentum style, day trade style type trades. So, you know, for strategy plays. And this ARC armor indicator does have buy and sell signals, if you will, the long and short. So you get a short signal here, it goes down, long signal goes up. We got a short signal right here, and it still hasn't continued on to recovering for a long position just yet. And this is the ARC enhanced MACD, and the MACD is also suggesting a continuation onto the upside. It is, however, starting to make a pivot towards the upside, so there is the potential that we can do a corrective upside move or a long position in the coming I'd say session, you guys. So these indicators can actually be available to you. Please just message me on Discord or on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and touch on those details. This indicator is comprised of several exponential moving averages placed very close in proximity to each other, so that we can actually place them algorithmically within the chart, so that we can gauge an averaged wave or motion of the price action, you guys. So this is how it's able to create a long and short signal for us in the trade, similarly to the enhanced MACD. In acquiring these indicators, I'll also include the ARC RSI, which is this one that we were just talking about, and the short-term and long-term frame BBWP volatility index, which is this one right over here, you guys. This is the ARC BBWP. So I think this is a pretty good place for us to leave the video, you guys. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Twitter, on Discord. I'll leave the links in the description below for you to consider joining the ARCap trading community. But with that said, I wish you well. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch you at the bell on Monday. Adios.